أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. In the name of God. Hi everyone. Today I'll explain another chapter of the Quran. The importance of this chapter is that this surah was including the name of Mushrik, and also this chapter is named about this idol worship. As you think, the surah's name is Tabbat, or some can say Lahab. Abu Lahab was the name of a man who was living in the age of ignorance, and he had lived in the early Islamic years. He was also the uncle of the Prophet. What is the occasion of revelation, this surah, this chapter? This Meccan surah, which was revealed at the beginning of the open invitation to the Prophet. You know that the invitation to Islam had started not publicly. The first Muslims invited only their close friends. After a while, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the Prophet to gather his close relatives and invite them to Islam. This invite was the beginning of the massive invitation. Abu Lahab was one of the Prophet's uncles. He was also invited to that gathering. And our Prophet made a speech in that organization, and he declared that he is the last messenger of God. And he invited them to embrace Islam. His relatives listened, but they didn't show any reactions, except Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab stood up and said some bad words, insulted him, and went outside. After this point, he has been a big enemy of the Prophet. His wife's name was Jamil, and she has also been the enemy of the Prophet. Peace and blessing be upon him. This family started to spread some gossips and untrue informations about Messenger, and they supported every action against Muslims. Jamil was throwing pebbles to the Prophet when he is passing on the street. She was putting some harming things on his path. Whenever our Prophet goes anywhere for the invitation, after him Abu Lahab was going there, and he was saying, "This is my nephew, and don't believe his words, don't believe his sayings. He has some problems, and he is a poet," and such like these lines. Our Prophet was very sorry about this anti-propaganda. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the chapter about Abu Lahab and his wife. Let's look at this chapter's verses. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab. Sayasla naran dhata lahab. Wa imra'atuhu hammalat al-hatab. Fi jidiha hablum min masad. In the name of God, may the hands of Abu Lahab perish. May he perish. His wealth avails him neither what he had earned. He will enter a flaming fire to roast, and his wife, the carrier of the firewood, around her neck a rope of twisted palm fire. After this verse, Abu Lahab and his wife was very angry, and their enmity rose against the Prophet. After Badr, when he heard about defeat, Abu Lahab died in Mecca because of sorrow of defeat. His corpse stayed in his house for days, and his corpse bad smell spread in Mecca. The Quran clearly says that they both will enter hell from which they cannot escape. We know that these verses were revealed in Mecca, and it was announced that they will not believe in the truth. Finally, many pagans of Mecca believed. This is one of the productions of the Holy Quran. And our Prophet said about this surah, he who recites it, this surah Lahab, I hope that Allah will not gather him and Abu Lahab in the same place. Let's finish with dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. O Lord, we know that in that great court, neither wealth nor relationship will avail us but by your grace. Amen. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. See you next lesson.